Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Unwisdom. This episode is going to be focused exclusively on shops. I have a whole list of shops that I would like to get done, and we are going to try to get through as many of them as possible. I have taken the liberty of collecting a few emeralds for my bank/currency exchange. They are going to stay tucked away safely in my ender chest for the time being, but once I am ready, they are going to go into the sort of ATM machine that I had over here that nobody ever used. Basically, you would throw in your little ATM card, which was just a renamed iron nugget, and that would spit out a couple of emeralds. We'll just dig ourselves a little hole, and I don't know, figure out how this works, slash just break it and start over. This is the ATM cards, which I guess we don't need anymore. But my question is, where are the emeralds stored in here? Maybe I took them all out? That seems unlikely. Wouldn't it be funny if the bank had gotten robbed and I never noticed? Oh, there they are. Found them. All right, I ripped out the front face here and figured out that this is where the daylight sensor sits. So all of this redstone back here that I didn't even notice before, this is all of the daily reset logic. I have not figured out exactly how it works yet, but it does, and that's all I need to know. Because it is gonna get ripped out right now. This item filter right here is probably the only piece of this redstone that I'm gonna keep, with the exception of, I think, this auto dispenser right here. Everything else is getting reworked. Okay, I have a pretty good idea of what I can do to make exactly 8 emerald blocks pop out for every 1 diamond that's put in. It's kind of an expensive plan, so it's only 1 pulse, and we'll get that out of the filter. That 1 pulse is going to trigger the 8 hoppers to release their items into another row of hoppers, and that's going to feed directly into the dispenser. That would be this dispenser, and that will give the purchaser, the customer, all of their emerald blocks. Let me just clear out some space. Okay, this actually still doesn't really work because this is going to go into this dropper, and that's only going to get 1 pulse. This redstone line needs to go to this redstone line so that all of these release 1 item exactly into this row, comes over here, and spits them all, not just 1, which is how it's doing it right now, all up into there. Those go across, and those are already getting automatically all spit out in, like, through the floor, basically, is how that happens. But nothing's getting spit out anywhere until this is also operating the same way as that. So I may be able to just take this and put it underneath here and have it be powered on the same auto clock, but I don't think that that will work. Okay, I think I have a solution here. If I lower this automatic dispenser circuit by 1 block, that means it'll use this one to determine whether the clock should be running. That can also power this dispenser up here, as long as I have a line running into it, probably with like a 1 tick delay. That way this one shoots its item up into this one, and then this one gets powered and delivers it to the customer. So I'm going to rip this out, and then a little bit of redstone around to this one. Now, like I said, we want delay, so put in a repeater. Now these already cause delay by default, but this is getting delayed, and this redstone branches off before that. So I'll add 1 tick there, and we'll see if it works. Nice. Flawless. I love it. Very simple circuitry. Looks really messy. Okay, but now we need to deal with getting the emerald blocks into this. Shouldn't be too terribly challenging. I've just realized something though. This item filter is delivering items directly back to the user, which is, you know, working as designed. But we don't really want that anymore, because I don't know about you, but if I'm trying to sell something and my machine delivers the customer's payment back to them as well as what they bought, I wouldn't be making a profit. I wouldn't be making any monies at all. I'd be just giving stuff away for free, which is kind of how the ATM card worked before, but that was just for funsies because emeralds are sort of renewable. Okay, I think everything is in order here. I just have to put in the row of hoppers that gets redstone powered. That needs to be powered constantly though. Let me go look at my super smelter, because whatever I have going on with the super smelter might actually work for this project. That's pretty simple, actually. It's a comparator into a block, into a torch, into a repeater. So, because there's nothing in here, this is powered, and therefore the whole line is powered, blocking these lower hoppers. Okay, final test of this whole contraption. I have all of my emerald blocks in the system. I have 1 diamond that I will put into the chest. That should trigger everything. And here we go, getting exactly 8 emerald blocks. And I could change that to any number by adding or subtracting hoppers out of that system. And I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon. I'm quite happy with 8 being the number. We'll see if any actually sell and then adjust accordingly. But yeah, so now I just need to tidy this up. And this is the final form of the ATM. It looks honestly very unassuming for what it is and what it does underneath. But if I go ahead and put, you know what, let's put both diamonds in. And then we should get 16 emerald blocks coming up. Looks like all of them. So now we've got 32. This is also where you refill the machine, close this door up, and then all of the diamonds will make their way down into here. Every time I look at this thing, I'm like, it's a little bit ugly. It really is. But it's an ATM, and have you ever seen a pretty ATM? No, you haven't. So that's why it's ugly. The next shop that I want to work on is this junk shop, which is not really a shop. It's a free junk dump, basically. And it's really filled up over the years. So I picked out a spot over here for the new junk shop. I made this a square, but I'm thinking I actually want it to be kind of like a cylindrical shaped tower, and it's gonna go up to about maybe that height where my other tower is. I'm thinking we're gonna start it out with spruce. Now the footprint for this is gonna, I think, get a little bigger because I want to have stuff like this around it, where there's the darker wood. Maybe not this far out, but more the way that this one works. So like here, and then likewise here. If I do this, then it needs to stay only at this level. That much is for sure. The alternative would be to have just those two, and they'll go up kind of the way that these did. I won't be able to put stuff between them as easily. So I need to consider that. I could definitely do it this way at like, maybe not even that height, maybe more like that height right there. Just have like little cross sections like this. Let's try it. That's too many fences. Better than the fence posts. That's for sure. Also, this is not going to stay. And then this will be the inside of the store. And then there's going to be multiple floors. So I need to, at some point, figure out how to do a staircase. So I got some more progress done. I put a floor in, which I think looks nice and textured. The fences all around. I did some moss around the corners just to make it look like it fits in a little better. Do that. And we'll do that. And that should be the staircase. Which leaves us, I mean, not a lot of room because again, this and this and this all the way around is all going to be glass. We've got this little bit of space, and I think it's a nice little staircase though, and the pattern is consistent, which I don't know if you've realized this yet, but I really need things to be symmetrical and consistent. I guess I should put in other floors so that I know how high I've gone and when I need to stop. Starting to run low on wood, at least the kinds that I need. But this is looking pretty nice out here. It's kind of huge compared to what I was thinking it would look like. You can't really see from over there. And it's gonna definitely take a lot of glass. So thank goodness for that emerald farm. I mean, raid farm. I mean, I've seen this view so many times just from like 20 blocks that way, because I always sit up in the top of the tower there. And yeah, this is like a whole new perspective. You guys are gonna actually get to see me use my tree farm, my automatic tree farm. I don't think I've used that once since I started recording consistently. Yeah, okay, there's nothing residual in there. But this and this. And we just need some spruce saplings. This thing pretty much only works for spruce, oak, and birch. It is supposed to work for acacia, and I have never gotten it to work correctly for that. But otherwise it functions pretty good. I only really need the spruce, so that's all I'm gonna take. I'll probably leave the rest behind. I mean, it's almost a stack. Not really, but good enough for now. That is the last of the fence gates, and I would like to avoid snow on top of this roof, at least most of it. So I'm going to try to use stairs and slabs to accomplish that. Okay, yeah, cool. And then just slabs all around. That'll be good. And this should be the last of the wood. All that's left is glass and decoration. By decorations, I mean filling that thing up to the top with chests and barrels. So we're just gonna clear these guys out. Need to dye it all white before I put it into place. Okay, that actually stretched a lot further than I thought it was gonna be. We made it more than halfway from the top of the tower. But I also need to wait for these guys to refresh their trades, and that means that I'm better off harvesting crops over here, because that's close enough that they'll do their thing overnight. Sweet. They appear to have all refreshed their trades. I think this should be enough to finish up the windows for the tower. Let's see. Oh yeah, I didn't finish this part. So let me finish this floor first, and then can move on to the rest. And this is the last couple of pieces of glass going in right now. And then it's just a matter of lighting this build up and decorating it. And I guess it could use some doors maybe. Not sure how, but I managed to forget almost all of these fence posts that I meant to put along the corners, if you can call them corners. Okay, so my initial thought was that I could put barrels in here like this and give little trapdoor stands. It might look better if I pull the barrels out a little closer to the center. So then that is what this will look like for the junk shop. And I suppose I could have some kind of signage that tells what different items are going to be in each of these. And that kind of gives the same, it's actually the same amount of storage. I had the idea to just put one singular double chest on this floor for now. This is going to be the rarest junk. And now the part that we've all been waiting for. I got to transfer all of this over to there. I feel like there's an important distinction between junk and trash that maybe ought to be getting made here. The other thought that I've had is whether I should be trying to organize this stuff over there, or if I should just leave it completely random. And with the last junk moved over, it's time to put up a sign or two. And there we go. A little path up to here might be nice. And we're calling that a path. So with the junk shop fully removed and time running critically low for this episode, I don't think we'll be able to finish, but I would like to at least start the next shop. I've already marked out a 11 by 11 square. That's the footprint of this build. And I don't want it to be just like a square tower like everything else around here. Well, standing next to something that is not quite a square tower. But I don't want it to be perfectly square, so I'm going to try to vary the, I guess, width as we go up. And this will be the gunpowder TNT rocket shop. I expect TNT will be in pretty short supply, generally speaking, since sand is always tough to come by. But without further ado, let's get started. We're starting out with the sandstone slabs for the floor. Yeah, I want to work a little bit of brick into the build for the sake of variety. Maybe I'll polish a few of these here and there. This should be good for the first floor, and then I want the overhang right here be just a little higher than the door. Definitely need to have some windows in here, so let's get that made. I'm thinking the tall, skinny ones might be the best way to go. I'm not 100% sure, though. This is gonna be... oh yeah, this could still work. This would be a challenge. Maybe we could open up the whole thing? Here, I have an idea. I feel like this might look really weird, but it also might look really cool. If I don't have this and just put the glass back a block. Obviously, need to put some granite here and get rid of this mistake. I'm starting to feel like being very creative with this build right now. Thinking I might try gray for the ceiling in here. We'll see if I decide to keep it this way or not. Not sure if this is the best color combo or if maybe the darker color should be on the floor, but I think for now it's fine. And I'll need to put some shelving in here somewhere, probably along this wall. I would say I'm definitely making some interesting progress. This is going to stop here for a little bit, and this will continue straight up. I have some top secret plans for what's going to go there, although maybe you can already guess. I did manage to get the basic elements of an actual shop put in here. There's definitely lots more to do with this shop in particular, and not only that, but I do have quite a long list of shops yet to make, so hoping to continue that in the next episode. Thank you again for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Oh, I just broke that. Oops.